You ever stop and wonder why you're so fucking tired? Me too. Uh, and one thing that I've recently chalked it up to is a huge chronic case of imposter syndrome. Cue graphic. Cue graphic. You can imagine it. Use your imagination. So, with imposter syndrome, it goes back to that whole concept of performance that I was talking about just last week, I believe, if I'm actually correct in terms of time frame, but doesn't matter. When we're engaging in a cycle or creating from a feeling of being an imposter, it's usually because we're anticipating someone else's expectations. We're operating from a sense of, well, this is what people want, right? But instead, ask yourself, do I actually fucking enjoy this? Am I showing up as myself? And does this create the life that I want to lead? I love the sound that went on. That was not planned. But honestly, like, when we're working from a place of being an imposter or trying to fill some shoes that aren't really our size, it's like we're constantly we're burning ourselves out because we're holding on to what's really worth a damn and just trying to give people like what we think they want, which is usually a cheap knockoff or imitation of who we actually are. So it's like we're bootlegging ourselves. Maybe that makes sense why people want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I don't know, but that's not necessarily something that I feel like would be very fun, especially when it comes to running a business, or living a life for that matter. If I'm constantly messing with my fucking boots, how am I ever going to make a real step forward? But anyways, so it's like we already put ourselves into a box. We're trying to fit in or fit behind a label instead of truly distinguishing ourselves, allowing ourselves to show up fully, to be fully embodied as who we are, who we chose to be within this lifetime. And so it's not a question of, am I really showing up like as a witch or astrologer or starseed or any of that? It's like, because at the end of the day, like, putting a label to ourselves is having us kind of subscribe to the idea of some like watered down, homogenized place of existence. And really, we're all these beautiful divine expressions of source. So, at the end of the day, how do you distinguish yourself from the crowd? And that's by being you. And that's by showing up and allowing your interests to be known, allowing yourself to, remark upon things because you have a unique vision, a unique experience, a unique way of expressing yourself. And so, like, that's what makes the difference between a fucking politician and an artist. It's like, you start with that expression and you bring it to form instead of seeing what type of reform people are asking for and then trying to bring a substance to fit within that. It's inauthentic and it doesn't always fit. There are always gaps, and missing pieces when you work from that, outside in mentality. Let's work from the inside out. That's expansion, not contraction. That's the difference. So like, politician, that's that contractive, restrictive, tense energy of having to work with what's outside and bring it in, and instead let's be the artist and bring that expression outward to create that experience. Let's work from that place, because it's like everything is backwards. And so we have to work backwards. So anyways, it's all about us becoming a resource, returning to source, retracing our steps back to source, back to the intention, back to the source point, back to the root of the situation, and allowing ourselves to continue to integrate whatever it is. Like, when we're weaving something, it's all about getting to another like kind of point. in order to kind of keep that fixed. I don't know. I don't weave stuff. I just kind of like, I was talking to my ass at that point. So just forgive me at that point. But I don't know. It made sense. It made sense. But honestly, it's like we're so disconnected in our daily lives. It's like everything, if everything is connected, then why are we so disconnected? And it's because we are not fully integrated within the different aspects of our lives. We have to remain in a certain space or at a level of integrity, which we so willingly give away in favor of something manufactured, believing that we're going to step into this idea of success or prosperity that was already sold to us, instead of allowing ourselves to define it and therefore create it. That is magic. We define things in order to create them. We allow that creation to manifest through an expansive force. We create that space through our expansion. And so just consider that, you know, just consider that. We're all artists here. We're all divine mediums. And if we're restricting our own self-expression, then we are our own oppressors. We are representing all of those external forces that we still harbor animosity, anger, you know, trauma from and toward, you know? And it's like, it's time to just stop being so sensitive. And I'm not saying be insensitive, but it's like, stop being so sensitive to the outside world and be sensitive within yourself. Be able to sense what is there within yourself that is seeking your advocacy. Quit being so disconnected in all of these areas of your life and allow yourself to be a fully embodied and integrated human, a divine one at that. Yes, we have all of our roles that we play, but we do it as us, whoever that is. So it's like we're all actors showing up for an audition, and instead of trying to play it the way you think the way you assume the people at the table, the casting agents want you to play it, and play it the way you would interpret that. Sure, you can read the room, but have you interpreted the script? Have you sat with the narrative and made it your own? Are you truly a storyteller? Or are you just another actor in a performance? Are you utilizing all of your resources in order to create something worth experiencing? We burn ourselves out working in theory and holding back our self-expression, our divine self-expression. And we keep working at it and working at it and working at it and working at it. As long as there's work to do, we'll keep working at it. But what if it didn't have to be like that? What if we could just play through it? And the discipline is making sure that you're staying within your own rhythm, that you're in your own time. You're on beat, on cue for you. It's like create. Figure out what that substance is, and then find the right container for that. And if you need help, I'll help you. Let's do a session. You know, like, let's figure it out. Figure out how you're getting in your own way. We're all prone to just enormous amounts of self-sabotage as human beings. We're only really competing against ourselves. We're only really competing against ourselves. So how can we be a true representative or representation of who we are when no one's watching? And the only people that end up watching are just other versions of you. So why not be yourself? But anyways, that's kind of all I have for you today. I just wanted to share that. For those of you already doing it, I'm proud of you. Good job. Kudos. Because yeah, you know, we've got to free ourselves. We've got to free ourselves. Because no one's going to do it for us. No one is going to hand us something already pre-packaged and ready to go. Because anything that is for us is not built out of a machine or a program or some automated system. Like our life and what can be offered to us that is for us is purely artisanal shit, y'all. So like, be a fucking snob about it, dude. Be a snob about it. But also be grateful for what is offered you, you know? And it's always gonna meet you where you're at. And, you know, where you're vibrating at. And so, you know, it's important to acknowledge that. And if you have reservations about something, see how that applies to you and your own internal experience. Bring it all back home as often as possible. As often as possible. Always constantly checking ourselves. To a point where it occasionally gets maddening and you start pacing and walking around the house and talking to yourself. But, you know, just stay hydrated. Be sure to eat something good, you know, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Wear some comfy clothes while you're at it. I mean, that's my exercise program, is checking myself, is pacing around my house, processing, checking myself every step of the way. Because the only person you're going to really end up fighting as you get free and you claim your sovereignty is you. Because you're going to be fighting that program within you. That's really what it comes down to. But it's going to hit different once you get to that point of like resolution and reconciliation within yourself. Oh, it's so delicious, y'all. It's such a treat. It's such a joy. So, you know, fight for that. Receive that. You can do it. You can do it. And once you're able to free yourself, it's easier for you to advocate and show up for, you know, and participate for others who are disenfranchised, you know, who need someone to help carve out that space for them to expand. Because sometimes we need someone to jolt us. And usually people that have that personal freedom, they're that catalyst, you know, like you're going to activate people for better or for worse. And like, that's just part of the work. But if you can like be as relaxed as possible and self-assured, but also self-aware through the entire process, there's nothing that can stop you. So it's like I've never felt more alive than I had when I actually ride on that wave of fear. When I feel most in my body and I allow that to be like this beautiful excitement, this feeling of excitement and joie de vivre. It just ignites me. And yeah, sometimes it feels like a lot and sometimes it's exhausting. But damn it, at least I can get a good night's sleep. So challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. And don't try to do things like everybody else. Have fun. Have fun. So that's all I have for you for today. There's plenty more that I could share, but we're going on. We're a little past 15 minutes now, so I'll leave it at that. But please consider donating. Doing this isn't for like, I'm investing something here. I'm investing something in you all by doing these videos. So please donate or buy me a book, or book a session with me. Share it, save it, like it, subscribe to my YouTube. But for Christ's sake, do something. But just do something. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to let you go for now. Thank you so much for listening. And just do the damn thing and don't ask permission. Just do what feels in alignment with you. I have a feeling I'll talk more about conflict next time in terms of distinguishing oneself. But for now, I feel good about this. So, bye.